Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today we're going to talk about Cardano, a run for the record books. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let's go for 300,000 subscribers. Give the video a thumbs up. Also check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. Let's go ahead and jump in. So we've been making this series on Cardano, a run for the record books, for probably almost a year now. The general idea being that ADA will probably be one of the main coins remembered for this market cycle as having gone through significant gains. Okay, so last market cycle, Ethereum was the main cryptocurrency that we watched go up over 1,000x, and I don't know that ADA will go up 1,000x or anything like that. I don't think that it will this market cycle, but in terms of being a run for the record books, we can already say that it is. Okay, it's up 60x in a year, and it's consolidating above $1. As we made a video not too long ago about about the idea of it consolidating above $1, which is fairly bullish in my opinion that it's actually holding these levels. Remember, when we tested these levels back in 2018, we did not hold them for very long. We had a weekly wick that went above it, but we just came basically straight back down. So with that in mind, we say, okay, we're back into consolidation mode. We've seen consolidation mode before, right? This area here was a reaccumulation phase. I even picked up more ADA in this area and in this area. And if you know that I'm picking it up, I'm very conservative. So I was basically buying this entire region right here, okay? This entire region. This was the key accumulation phase. When it got up here, it got pretty heated in the short term. Again, this is all documented on the YouTube channel. We cooled off for a while, continued to cool off. We moved back into accumulation, and then we basically blasted off. Okay, now we're currently above $1. We're trading at $1.26. The prior all-time high is around $1.50, and the idea is, how long are we going to consolidate before we continue the next leg up? Well, I would say the first thing we need to do is to always consider the downside risk, okay? Let's always consider the downside risk. And in a bull market, we know that the downside risk should theoretically be the 20-week moving average. Now, where is that today? You can see that it is starting to level off a little bit because the price is leveling off. This is going to continue to bend over unless the price starts moving. Okay, now the 20-week SMA for ADA now is at 66.59 cents. The 21-week EMA is at 77 cents. So that's what I would say is the downside risk. And the only reason I say that is because that's where we saw Ethereum drop to during the last market cycle a number of times. And so because we know that other coins have done it in the past, we see Bitcoin tested the 20-week moving average a lot last cycle. That is the downside risk. We also tested these areas back in September, October, and November. We will visit them again at some point. So that's the downside risk. And as long as we're consolidating, time is on our side for the downside risk because this is slowly, the 20-week SMA and the 21-week EMA are slowly moving up, right? They're slowly moving up. And obviously the ideal situation would be if we have to test it, have it come to us rather than us go to it, okay? So that's one thing to consider. Now, in terms of looking at the potential upside, again, we can always go back and look at where the valuation is with respect to Bitcoin and where it is with respect to Ethereum. With respect to Bitcoin, the ADA Bitcoin valuation is fairly extended from where we have been, and we call this, a key accumulation phase for the ADA Bitcoin valuation. We even recently came back down into this range before popping our head back above it. If we draw a line, and so you guys can see it where we currently are, we're basically at this level here where we ultimately found some support back in 2018. We moved above this level also back in March of 2018. This was in July of 2018. So it's been a while since we've consolidated at these levels, but you can note that we are fairly well out of this accumulation phase that we had been in for a couple of years, basically, about a couple of years. And so the idea from this point is, well, what happens if we do go back up to the next major milestone, which we might assume could be either this weekly close here or the wick? Now, if the price were to go up, if the price of ADA were to go up another 76% against Bitcoin, then then we would be looking at these weekly closes that we had in April of 2018. Now that would essentially get us to approximately the $2 mark. So we do know that a $2 ADA is in fact theoretically possible in the short term. It is possible. I don't think there's anything necessarily precluding it from happening. Now, if we were to go all the way up to the prior weekly close top from early 2018, then it would represent a 178% move from the current valuation, which is, I mean, that's getting close to 3x from the current price. So that would probably be sort of not something I could envision as much in the short term. Yes, anything's possible. And if Bitcoin, if we do have this major altcoin season where the Bitcoin dominance plummets into the 30s and the 40s, then yeah, maybe something like that is possible. But if this is not the end of the market cycle, and I don't really think this is the end of the market cycle, if it's not the end of the market cycle, then my guess is we continue to grind it out in this region. Okay, I would guess that we would continue to grind it out in that region for a while, rather than going back up to, say, the market cycle top on the weekly time frame from January of 2018. And it was even higher if you go up to the wick. That would represent another 300% move. So you get an idea of how we can become more in tune with, okay, are we nearing the end of a cycle, or are we still just playing in the sandbox for a while, consolidating and moving up, consolidating, moving up. And I would contend that, yes, we're going to have corrections along the way, but I do not think we are imminently about to make a major run at the top of this. And then basically, if we were to do something like that, I think, and if we did it relatively quickly, I think it would cause the selling pressure to be so immense from the people that bought at 2 and 3 cents, because they would be up 100x at that point. So again, what I think is the more likely scenario is it's long consolidation period, or maybe not even so long consolidations, but a more methodical move up, rather than going straight to the top, is probably going to look something, more like this, right? Where it's not going to be necessarily straight up or straight down, but there will be consolidation periods. Remember, 8 is up 60x. I understand that a lot of people want to know, well, what has it done for me lately? But you have to give it a chance to breathe occasionally. We said this at 10 cents. We said this at 30 cents. We're going to say it here at $1.30, $1.20. The current price of ADA is $1.27. So we'll continue to say it. Again, Cardano, I think, will be one of the coins we'll look back at for the cycle, and it'll be one of the better performing coins. It's already outperforming. It's been my primary hedge against Ethereum, not in the idea that I think it'll overtake Ethereum, but in just the idea that a lot of money will flood into Cardano because of the narratives surrounding it. I think that each can probably carve out its own niche in the space. And this is why I hold ADA. Now, if you look at the ADA Ether valuation, we have come back down, and we've tested these levels that were prior tops. Remember? We talked about this, and we said several weeks ago that if a set of market conditions exists that would allow us to move past this level, it would be this set of market conditions, and that's exactly what we saw happen. We moved past those prior local tops. We moved all the way up to here. Now we've come back, and guess what? We came right back to that area, the ADA Ether valuation. Now, to go back up to where we already were, it would need to be another 70% against Ethereum. You might say, well, why does that make sense? Because we already were up there, and the valuation of ADA is already $1.30, or almost $1.30. So if it were to go up at 70% or so, we would be flirting with approximately a $2 ADA. Remember, the valuation of Ethereum has gone up. The valuation of Ethereum back in February and March, the end of February, let's go look. What was the valuation of Ethereum at the end of February? Well, you can see that we were basically $1,400, $1,500. However, the valuation of Ethereum now is almost $2,100. So it's all about those ratios, and this is why it's important, because it helps us understand where things are in terms of their relative market capitalizations. You can see ADA's market cap right now is close to 40 billion, and Ethereum's is close to 250 billion. So, and then Bitcoin's is close to 1.1 trillion. So it's, in my opinion, it's a good thing for ADA with an appreciating Ethereum, because then the ADA Ether valuation would then go down while Ethereum's moving up, giving ADA more room to theoretically move up whenever the tides turn, the narrative shifts back towards ADA for a little while. So it's the same game we keep playing. will play it throughout the entire market cycle. 8 is my primary hedge against Ethereum. I also own Polkadot, but I think they all have their own role to play. 8 is one of them. I'll run for the record books. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let's go for 300,000 subscribers. Give the video a thumbs up. Also check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. We also have the premium list at intothecryptoverse.com. We have some exciting things coming for the premium list, and I will talk about that later in Q2. But make sure you guys check it out and sign up before that happens. So subscribe to the channel at the very least. Click the bell icon to turn on notifications, and I will see you next time. Bye.